Hello, my dear friends, everyone. This is the second part of my video about the worldview that I built being a sociologist after 4 years of researching occultism and conspiracy theories. Well, of course, not only this, but also mythology, religion, those philosophy, those scientific, official scientific, mainstream and non-mainstream scientific theories and paradigms. I have listened to the first video and written down some points which I would like to elaborate on, which I didn't have enough time to develop in the first part. So the first thing I would like to elaborate on is the concept of time. From an occultistic point of view, time doesn't exist, and its time is very narrowly linked to the phenomena of motion and sacred geometry. So since time is a motion of quantum waves of particles, I said that behind the occultistic concept of occultistic worldview, there is a scientific theory of quantum world. And in quantum world, from a scientific point of view, we have particles and waves. I have mentioned in the previous video that from an occultistic point of view, there is no difference between micro and macro, big and small. So in the official scientific narrative, in its mainstream, they stipulate that macro world becomes micro world, the quantum world, after a certain indicator. I think that it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's called variable Planck or something like this. Well, they say that or equation of Planck. Well, there is a there is a certain indicator which shows if we are talking about quantum world, micro world, or macro world. If the Newtonian physics or the Newtonian physics law or quantum physics law are applicable. But from the occultistic point of view, according to my research, they don't do this, they don't differentiate these two worlds. So why? Because I have explained in the first video that occultism supports the non-mainstream speculative physical theory of holographic universe, the physics of information. So I've mentioned that sacred geometry, according to my research, is the programming language of our reality, and time only starts to exist when geometry starts to move. Sacred geometry, or sacred geometry is it shows the path of the quantum, either particles or waves. And so when these particles or waves when a particle starts motion, it becomes a wave, the way I understand. Maybe I'm not I'm not very precise, but it's approximately like this, because I'm not a physicist. So this is how I managed to understand, to grasp it. So I would like also to mention here that all contemporary sciences, they actually derived from one science, which was philosophy. The scientific method was developed, I think, in around the 17th, 16th century, based on philosophy. Before the scientific method, there was such a discipline as natural philosophy. So from natural philosophy, such disciplines as physics and chemistry started to develop. Also, sociology developed directly from philosophy, well, psychology, and so on. I mentioned it because it's very important here. So it emphasizes this circumstance, emphasizes the fact that, not the fact, but maybe it's a fact, that rationality, our thought, kind of in my point of view, and in the point of view of occultists, the way I understand it, rationality, our mind, can resolve all the problems of all those problems which current contemporary sciences want to solve. And even there is even in the hard sciences such as physics, we have a legitimate scientific method called mental experiment. And actually, what is actually mental experiment? It's philosophy, rationality. You think, assume, and develop a thought of how things, physical phenomena would behave, and so on. So I'm just telling it to emphasize that in my point of view and the way I understood it after analyzing the different occult systems, rationality is prevails over materialistic experiment. I think so. And occultists, they think so as well, at least in my understanding, in my current understanding. Okay, so which I would like to also mention here which exactly occult systems I have analyzed. I haven't been in a sect, in a secret society. All of the occult systems that I had access to are those information on which we can find in open sources. Alchemy, Kabbalah, left-hand path, right-hand path, middle path, demonology, angelology, well, necromancy, well, Norse tradition, those traditions, Afro-Brazilian traditions, this voodoo, Ifa, Umbanda, Candomblé, a lot of things. I think I have embraced quite a lot of occultistic systems. So my analysis is quite full, I would say. Okay, so the next thing I have mentioned here in my list, I didn't talk about what demons and angels are. From my point of view, demons as well as angels are the programs of our reality. Then I have mentioned that atom, I think I mentioned only about Adam. Adam, I said that it's not, in occultism, it's not what the religion tells us. In occultism, Adam is equal to scientific atom. In Egyptian mythology, it's Atum. I said that it's the solar system. The solar system is the structure of our reality, and it doesn't talk about man. And what does it mean? It means that actually what we think of a man, the base of a man is mental. Mental, because I said that man is an emanation of this quantum computer. I can also call it the mind of God, and what scientists current contemporary scientists are telling us about space, cosmos, is exactly I would call it the mind of God. And God, in my reality model, is the quantum computer of our reality. Why quantum? Because it deals with the quantum world. Quantum world, I said that there is no difference between macro and micro from an occultistic perspective, because our reality is holographic. This holographic universe conception concept, it resolves this discrepancy about macro not being micro. Science is telling us that atom is something small, but in occultism, atom is the solar system and it's big. And taking into account the holographic universe theory, which is, although it's not a mainstream physical theory, but it was introduced to the scientific community, and well, it exists, and occultism supports this theory. I promised that I would use the terminology of information technology, because for our contemporary men, it's something that we deal with every day. In pre-information technology era, I would not be able to explain it in those terms. I would use terms of mechanics, and in the medieval ages, before the information technologies were introduced to the world, occultists described the world in the terms of mechanics. I will show you one interesting thing here. This is called armillary sphere, and it's a mechanical representation of our reality. The way they explained it in the medieval ages. Now, if I make parallels between this model and the model of information technology, this holographical universe, I said that, I explained in the previous video that this is the crystal of our, this is the kernel, the crystal of our quantum computer, and from this it is being the reality is being projected to the canvas of our reality, which is the Earth, which is the Earth's surface. The crystal of our reality is also what we occultists call the hypercube or the tesseract. Some say it's an octahedron, two pyramids linked together. I said that it's the mind of God, and it's what contemporary scientists tell us about the cosmos. in the previous video, I have mentioned that the base reality, everything starts from mind, from information, from the world of ideas, and is projected in the world into the world of forms. But I would not be so sure, actually, because we have this phenomena now as artificial intelligence. And in artificial intelligence, although now they say at least that we didn't reach this level of general artificial intelligence, that all those linguistic models that we have currently, they don't possess consciousness, although they officially don't possess consciousness. But indeed, if you listen to specialists in this field of artificial intelligence, they actually they say that we actually don't know if those linguistic models reached the level of consciousness or not. So what does it mean? Why is it important to mention here? Because previously I said that everything starts from the mind, from the consciousness, that this quantum computer's reality is mental, right? And I said that it produces material things, which are indeed holographically material, from something that contemporary scientists call physical vacuum. So, taking into account this artificial intelligence phenomena, I would not be so sure that mind is always primary to matter, and matter is the holography. Taking into account that we can create something that has a potential to develop, to acquire consciousness in the end, I think it could be both. Mind can produce matter, and matter can also produce mind. Consciousness can, there is such a notion as, such a term as, in English, I think it's emergency. Let me check exactly how it's pronounced in English. Well, I'm talking about when matter develops its consciousness. Well, while it's downloading here, just bear with me. Just bear with me, because this term is very important. Very slow here. I think this term is emergency. But let me just check to be on the safe side. Emergence. Yeah, emergence. Emergence is when something didn't have a quality, but quantity created a new quality, something like this. And what does it mean? It means actually, for me, in my reality models, it means that artificial intelligence and us are not so much difference, because I think that the way I understand, if we say that there is this quantum computer of reality and it produces us as consolidated parts of its qualities, the universal principles, it produces us, and we have consciousness also with this disputes about in the occult community. There are a lot of disputes about such phenomena as non-black characters. So they are stating that some people possess consciousness, others don't. In my reality model, not sure this is the case, because if the quantum computer produces something and this is its quality, or it doesn't do it as a willful act. It's his quality. He produces these parts, emanates these parts of consolidated universal principles, which we perceive as ourselves and the people around us. We perceive them as people. But, well, do all of us possess consciousness? Indeed. They say that there are very few conscious people in the world, and what is consciousness from an occultistic point of view? It's a different from a common point. It's a different thing from a common point of view. And I think that what looks like what some cult systems call a soul is exactly this emergent phenomena of when the same thing that happens with artificial intelligence. So at some point it acquires consciousness, and maybe for me it's not different to what the occultists call a soul. But okay, it's a very difficult philosophical and ethical question, but just my considerations about it. So in the occultism, I have also mentioned in the previous video such a phenomenon as the fall of man. I said fall of man, but as we know already now, man is indeed in the Bible it's called the fall of man, but man is not man is the structure of our reality. Man in Bible, in occultism, is the structure, and in my reality model is the structure of our reality, the structure of our we can say mind, because mind is like a fractal of this universal mind. Fractal, why fractal? Because the holography, in holography, a big part can divide numerous times, with, I think, without limits, and so each without losing its qualities. Holography, so those smaller parts of it, I guess, the way I understand it, they are fractals of bigger parts. That's why we cannot say that there is this macro and micro. That's why in occultism, they don't, unlike in contemporary science, they don't make difference between this Newtonian macro world and quantum world. Because why? Because of this holography aspect. And so the fall of man indeed is the era of that occurs or occurred, but since we know that time doesn't exist, kind of, it occurs in this. It's a bug in the software of our reality, and this occult system developed by Jewish mystics that's called Kabbalah. This system describes this phenomenon very well, I think. So I have shown you here the tree of life, the structure of our reality, and the one that they're using now, it is already the structure with that error. Which error I'm talking about, and some occult systems they talk about. Not all of them have this concept. I'll show you the version of the tree of life before the fall. I think I have found it somewhere on the internet. Let me check it. Yeah, here. Yeah. So here we can see the difference, because it's symmetric. It's much more symmetric than the current Kabbalistic tree of life they're using now. The material world, Malkut, didn't the material world, Malkut, our earth, actually emerged after this fall. So before this fall, this was here, and it was not so rigid as it is now. It means that the law, what we call the laws of physics, were different. And as I said, that as I mentioned in the previous video, now the configuration of this of the software, of the structure of our reality software is very I will use this term is crucified, but what does it mean? It means that it's very how it's called, not separated, but well, forgot this word, maybe it will come to me later. So our mind opposes too many things, too many universal principles are fighting and being opposed in our mind, and that this created this opposition. When there are too many oppositions and they're all fighting in this quantum computer, which emanations of which we are, it creates this error. I call it, and some occultists call it the God's error. And this element, which should be here, it falls down to here and makes our the structure of our reality not symmetric, and makes the laws of we call it the laws of physics, more rigid. We cannot do a lot of things right now. So magic, kind of what we call magic, is something that when this fall didn't happen, was what we call now magic. But before the fall, see the fall, this element fell here. Reality was built according to what we would now call magic, but before the fall it was not magic, it was the normal physical laws, although physics didn't exist then. Okay, so another thing that this when this element fell here, so Kabbalah, at least some fractions of this occult system, Kabbalah, they have this notion of shaking of the, so that this elements, they kind of broke, and husks, creating husks around them. And this is there is actually a whole occult system based on this on this fall, because it's not all schools of Kabbalah, they support this, but there is such a fraction of Kabbalah, Lurianic Kabbalah, and this I think he was Isaac Luria, and he used to live in, well, I don't know, I don't remember in which century. He elaborated this system. He explained this system. He said that the husks emerged after this element fell here, making the system asymmetric, unsteady, and the husks are kind of around of this main, so these are informational operators, like the planets and astrology, the planets, and they define, they are our our qualities, and also the laws of physics, the laws of chemistry, biology, phenomena of biology, and so on. There is a very popular occult system now, but although it's not mainstream, left-hand path, which is based on, they call it the tree of death. Although I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Lurianic Kabbalah, there is no such thing as the tree of death. There is a notion of klipoth, and the klipoth are the husks around these informational apparatus. It means that universal principles do not project to our reality the way they are supposed to project. They build the matter in a wrong way, not the way. Well, maybe it's wrong is not the correct even word, but in that occult system, it's supposed to be an error and it should be corrected. That this should be put here back. How a whole topic about it, how it should be put back. But now I will only mention that there is this current occultists that they invented this thing, the tree of death, and they have developed a whole system, a whole mythology, a whole demonology. In the classical Lurianic Kabbalah, there is only the other side, the klipoth. The klipoth, they exist in Lurianic Kabbalah, but the tree of death doesn't exist. The tree of death is kind of this thing is very recent about the tree of death, but still it's very popular, so we can't just ignore it, and I will mention it here. It describes here the tree of death and a whole mythology built around this tree of death, although so they show these husks as being here down, or like a reflection of the tree of life. This is this Malkuth, but in the way the classical Kabbalah describes this first three Sephiroth, they didn't break, they didn't create husks. So they don't have a reflection in the tree of death, but in the contemporary system, they picture them here. They say that this is Samael, Elise, and so on. Well, a lot of weird stuff in this. The way I see it, of course, I don't want to offend anyone, but I think that this occultistic system, which they call now the left-hand path, and the tree of death, and this sophisticated mythology, and you need to meditate on each of these demons, and well, I think it's kind of a nihilistic position it emerged out of rage of people who don't understand how the basic reality works. So they become kind of I don't think that I should elaborate this in this current video on this. I think maybe I should make a separate video about it. So, okay. What else? Time, sacred geometry, macro, micro, non-player characters. Yes, they like to speculate about this non-player characters in the contemporary occultism. That's why I think that they don't have a lot of results, as I understand it. Those this system doesn't bring a lot of results. They do a lot of rituals. They invoke demons. But which result do they have? The way all those. So how did I analyze this different practitioners? Because as a sociologist, the correct approach for me would be to go to which is called the method, sociological method, which is called involved or not involved observation. I would need to go to join this sect or this the group of practitioners and see how they do this. But when I was a student, it was only like this. But now I found out, for my luck, I found out that we don't currently actually need to do this, because we have the practitioners, they want we have internet, we have social media. So now you don't, as a sociologist, you really don't need to go physically somewhere and join a group and observe and so on. Go to YouTube, go to Instagram. They hold a lot of open conferences, Zoom conferences. They gather, they show their altars, they show their rituals. Yeah, I have analyzed that stuff, and I came to a conclusion that unfortunately, apart from how to say this, apart from some imaginary things, they don't get real results. And one of the reasons why they maybe don't get those results, probably because they don't use the correct reality model. The correct reality model, in my point of view, is still closer to the classical Kabbalah, to where there is no tree of death. There are clipoth, but there are. But the first three Sephiroth never ask and never create this demonic trinity, this Lilith, this Samael, this, wow, a lot of a lot of things that they invent. Another thing that I have came across with respect to this fall, this God's error, is sorry. Sorry. Another thing that I need to mention here, I'm not sure if I should mention it here or not. I think I will finish this video here and elaborate on other topics in the next video. Maybe, yeah, I will just mention just one thing. Since I started already talking about this error of the bug of our software reality, I have written an article about this, and in an occult community, there are groups who comment on this in a very interesting way. There is a sect, I don't remember how it is called, but they say kind of they say that they channel the information, but according to my research, channeling actually really contemporary concept of channeling is the same that the religious prophets did. The mechanism of this process is not different. It's channeling. The God communicated to Moses, to I don't know who else, to Enoch, to Moses, Enoch, and all those religious figures. What they did communicating with God is nothing different than the current light work as those channelers do. How can we be sure that this is this knowledge is from whom it's given? So in my point of view, the mythology and the Bible, it could be channeled, but channeling is what? Is tapping into the it's tapping into the quantum computer directly, this quantum computer of reality. We are all kind of, we are part of it. So channeling for me is just the ability of getting information directly from this, the source. But not on all channeling is through channeling, through tapping into this quantum computer. So those channelers I wanted to mention here, they are saying a very interesting thing, which in my point of view makes a lot of sense. So they are saying that this this version of the flower of life, they call it, is exactly the tree of life, based on the tree of life after the fall, because it should be like this, the flower of life. I think this is called the lotus of life, and this is the flower of life. So what's the difference? that sect, it gives a lot of calculations of these angles here, you know, but the sense, the essence of it, it makes sense for me. The essence of it, that in this scheme, the mind never, it's a peripheric motion of the mind. So the mind actually never taps into this quantum computer, this octahedron or this tesseract, this into the quantum computer of reality. They never tap, because and this is what's happening in this current configuration of our reality software. Yes, the tree of life after the fall. The tree of life after the fall, according to this concept, and I link it to this Klipoth concept also, this Loranic Kabbalah, the husking of the Sephiroth. Currently, we never really tap into this. We go, because the lotus of life is like this, right? This sacred geometry. So the mind taps back, goes back here. But in the flower of life that they use, that peripheric motion, they never, our mind never reaches this point. So, and this is the reflection of the manifestation of this fall, but in a different occult system. So I think it's very legitimate, and I should research this phenomenon better. This fall, I think it's a legitimate concept, and it really takes place, and we should, I support this Kabbalistic fraction of which says that there should be the correction of the world, and the getting back to the initial symmetric configuration of the tree of life. Well, a lot of things, and I think this is it for today. I think that this video is even more messy than the previous one, but I just gave some more details on the concepts I gave in the first video. And now I need just to develop each of the points, topics separately in a separate video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time again. Bye-bye.